Hi guys, and welcome to your daily tarot reading for Wednesday the 25th of March 2020. I'm using the Robin Wood Tarot for this reading. This is a beautiful deck. The original one I had got damaged in the move, so I reordered it because the cards are just so pretty. It's a Joker card. That kind of card I think some people would leave in as a infinite potential or blank, but I stick with the regular tarot. So I just love the images in this deck. Let's have a look at what the cards we need to be aware of for Wednesday the 25th of March. And I just set the intention to understand the energy of the day. If you're reading tarot cards as well, you can ask, when will I meet the right person? When will things look up financially? It's a really lovely tool. So if you want to learn how to do the tarot, then take my course on the website. It's only £17. I've made it super cheap because I want everyone to learn the tarot. It's the best tool ever. And let's see what Wednesday is about. We have the Page of Swords, the Knight of Wands, yikes. And we have the Empress in reverse. Okay, this is a fight. You can see it's a fight. The Page of Swords is someone who rushes in before thinking. No filter, immediately from brain to mouth. So it's speaking without thinking. It's galloping off in the completely wrong direction and having a big smile on your face because you have no clue what you're doing. The Knight of Wands is a court card. He's a little bit up from the page. It goes from page to knight to king and queen. So the Page of Swords is about the element of air, as communication, the way you think. So it may be likely that you're really off on something, that you see something completely from a perspective that doesn't make sense, or you're unusually upbeat, or you're inappropriately kind of perceiving things, and the way you're going about your daily business may be too extreme and you may rush into things. So I would encourage you to slow down and to make sure if you commit to something, or if you buy something, or if you make a decision about anything, that you really just take a moment and step back and say, is this a wise decision that I'm making? The next card is the Knight of Wands. And the Knight of Wands is a fire court card, and he is extreme. So the Page of Wands is learning about fire. Fire is about passion, life purpose, desire, drive, destruction, fire, burning things to the ground so that they can grow again. So he's super extreme in his behavior. Either he gets on the horse of fire and he gallops in and he just murders everybody because he's just the ultimate knight, or the horse flame on doesn't work and he's completely depressed because he feels powerless and he can't take action. So it's either or with him. Today he's really angry and he's powerful. So a lot of people are traipsing along with a big smile on their face. It's like an open-faced sandwich, not knowing what's coming your way. There are going to be differences of opinion, and they'll be quite passionate about anything and everything. This person is extreme. She is a young woman, and she's not particularly responsible. She's been given this sword. She doesn't really know how valuable it is, and she's running around just with not a care in the world. And here the Knight of Wands almost seems like the protector. He seems to be on the defensive, even the horse is looking backwards, and it's almost like they're anticipating Bad ideas to come, he's anticipating. Bad ideas coming his way. Extreme behavior. People perceiving the current situation that we're in worldwide in a different way. There could be really strong arguments about that, actually. Like, for instance, in the UK, we have been put on lockdown, which means that you can only leave the house to go exercise and to go shopping and to buy medical supplies. And only 2 people at a time can kind of go together. And today I went into the store and it was, I don't know if you've seen The Handmaid's Tale. It's this gruesome, amazing show on some cable network. And it was like that, except that, babies weren't being stolen. It was so weird. They marked out all these squares, 2 meter. You had to stay away 2 meters from one another. So they marked out with this kind of crime scene tape material the spaces where we had to stand. So for instance, today you could say, oh, to hell with all of this. I'm just going to get everyone together and I'm going to have fun. I'm tired of all this. It's spring break. I'm going on holiday and having a party. And you're really going to face a lot of backlash from that. If you decide to be irresponsible today, people are going to get fired up and react extremely in that example and say, oh, how dare you, you're putting everyone else at risk and you're putting yourself at risk. And it does damage. So, we're not seeing eye to eye here at all. You're deliberately in kind of denial mode because you're saying, yes, everything's happening, but it won't affect me. And society or other people are going to be watching and saying, actually, it does affect other people. Finally, we have the lovely Empress in reverse. The Empress is the mother. She's so nice. Look at her with her little wheel there. Spinning wheel. I think that's how they make wool. There are lots of fruits and vegetables. She's got Venus there, love. She's wearing a yellow, beautiful dress. She's pregnant. She's wearing this hood and a crown under it. So the Empress is the 3rd card of the major arcana. She is the archetypal mother. She gives life. She makes things that are beautiful and comfortable and that nurture. And she has a lot of power because she gives life to anything. She can give life to a child, or she can give life to, she can make things abundant or prosperous. She's really the goddess of abundance and prosperity and love. And she's nowhere to be found. Love has left the building, like that truck is leaving right now. So there is no love lost between people at the moment. Some people are really buying into the distancing thing and it doesn't look happy. And if you decide to really rebel and to say, do you know, screw all of this, like I said earlier, I'm just going to have fun. Be very careful, okay? If you do that and you invite your friends and you ask all of them, have you got any symptoms and da-da-da. And if you have a private estate or whatever, then, and if you want to get together, which I'm not advising you either way. I'm just looking at the energy, and the energy is saying some of you are going to have the desire to break the rules and get together. So if that happens, to minimize the damage, I would say go somewhere private where you're not going to get busted and confronted by other people. So rent out the manor house and have your 30th birthday in private at the manor house with your healthy friends, so that other people don't criticize you and say, how dare you? You know how much risk you're putting people in? The other extreme, Page of Swords, is that you don't show up at all. And that you completely huddle in your house afraid of the fiery, scary virus that is running through the world. And there's just no love. You just feel totally exposed and frightened. So, what's the best way forward? Best way forward is usually finding a balance between the two extremes. So one is just being irresponsible and just saying, I'm brushing this off, going into denial, this doesn't even exist. And the other one is, it exists so much that I'm afraid of it. So the middle ground between those two is, I know this exists, I'm not scared of it, and I'm going to take precautions if I go out. I'm going to buy my stuff, I'm going to follow the rules, and then when I go home, I'm going to wash my hands. And the love that is not coming from other people today, because as soon as society's rules change, society changes. What we're experiencing is a historic event. This is going to change the world forever from now on. And I really hope and I pray, and please join me in my prayer, that this isolation and this global illness and this distancing yourself from other people, I pray that people see that once this has died down and they realize that we're one human family and that it's about unity. It's unity that makes us happy. And it's being together that makes us happy. Social media at the moment is great. I'm going to meetings, 12-step meetings online. I'm doing that. And I really hope that people see that when we isolate ourselves, and I also pray for the people who are affected by this immensely health-wise, but I really hope that people see after this that we're precious to one another and it's just important to connect. What I pray doesn't happen is that the distancing and the isolation and the coldness and the distance between people doesn't become entrenched and doesn't become entrenched behavior and also thinking. Because the last couple of years, since 2000, the middle of the 2010s, we started to see a lot of division in the world, a lot of kind of either or, and it wasn't even opposition anymore. It was like if you're not with me, you're against me, and both teams kind of knuckled down and things really started to go in a divisive way. And now that's kind of manifested in a physical way where we're not near each other. And today you can turn it around by providing love for yourself, making love for yourself by doing things you enjoy. She likes spinning wool. If you like painting, paint. If you like being on social media, go on social media. It's by making love for yourself and not rushing into things and being irresponsible and crashing into other people's rules. But it's to try and be considerate and to do the things that you want within reason, and that you don't offend anyone and that you also don't put yourself at risk. Okay, that's the best way to use the energy for the day. But for the future, it's a lesson that you can do things for yourself. Yes, I hope this is what we learn from this isolation stuff. Not that we realize that we're social beings, but also, on the other hand, that when we're alone and when we're by ourselves, we're able to generate and do things and be productive in ourselves. And we can make things and we can create happiness and joy and wonder for ourselves just by being home and working with the things you have. It was so funny. Yesterday, I was listening to the Moonlight Sonata by Beethoven. And it was amazing because in the comments, there were comments being made every 20 seconds. And the video has been up 9 years. So there were comments from 5 years ago or 3 years ago. But yesterday, when I was listening to it, we were all there, like thousands of us, we were all there listening to Beethoven's Moonlight Sonata. And a lot of people, I think, went for it on YouTube, and we all made comments and stuff for comfort. It's a really comforting piece. Listen to it if you like Beethoven, if you like classical music. But that was such a lovely reminder that, we're all connected through feeling. You see, we're all feeling this, I don't know, the Moonlight Sonata, I love it. Some would say it's kind of melancholy. But I love it. To me, it's like organic. It's like you can feel the relationship swelling and then going back and then saying it's amazing. So create balance within yourself and make light and happiness for yourself. That's your job. And don't rely on other people to do things for you or to make you happy. If anything, try and be careful not to have conflict with other people, because that's likely. Number-wise, we've got the Empress, that's 3, and both the court cards count as 2, because each one counts as 1, so it's 2. 2 and 3 is 5, and 5 is freedom. So you learn that you can be free from needing other people all the time, and that you can do something by yourself, and that you can be happy on your own, and that you can be very relaxed and comfortable on your own. Some people can't be alone. And you guys are learning now that it's not scary. There's no monster that's going to come out if you're suddenly left alone with your head and your thinking. You can be productive, and that's the key. That's the answer. If you're just sitting there staring at the wall, then of course you're going to get bored and frustrated. But if you make something, if you do a puzzle or you play Monopoly or you paint or you write music or you do a still life, that's a way to keep yourself, that's the way to keep that smile on your face. Okay? So that's a great lesson. And the other great lesson is that being considerate towards other people and working with them instead of against them is a blessing. And it's something that hopefully after this all winds down, that we remember that we're better when we're together. And that it's unity that we're aiming towards, that we're all the same. We all have mothers, we all have fathers, and we're all the same. We're one species, we're one people, and the human family. I hope that we decide now what kind of world we're going to make, because everything's put on hold, everything feels stuck. I hope we remake the rules when we come out of this, and that things change, and that so many of the things that have kept us divided before just poof, disappear, because we now see things differently. So join me in my thoughts and my positive energy that I'm putting into this as a positive outcome. And I'm sorry, but I'm not trivializing the virus at all and the effect it's having. But culturally and socially and for everybody, I want this to have a positive outcome. And I want people to learn from it in a positive way. And that it puts us in a position where we appreciate each other more and we're more considerate to each other. And that's the 5, the freedom of thinking, the freedom of feeling like you have to be at conflict and you can't make happiness for yourself, and you have to be around other people even if you don't like them. And you realize that you can be totally content by yourself, and that you can have really good relationships with other people. In fact, if you're not desperate to be around other people all the time, but you're very likely to have much more positive relationships. So you can have freedom from the fear of being alone, and you can have freedom and learn that you don't need to engage in conflict. You can have balanced relationships with people in your life. Have a fabulous day. If you'd like a personal reading with me, please get to gregoryscott.com to order your reading there. And remember, the coupon code, put it in the promo code section when you check out, spring special, 25% of all priority and emergency sessions. Because if you want to speak to me urgently and you are worried, then I am available, or I'm making myself available. So if that's something that interests you, please use the coupon to get the discount. If you liked the video, please share it online and subscribe to the channel. Have a wonderful day, and I'll speak to you tomorrow.